By temperament, I don't like to hit the gavel, so I'll just lightly ask to start the meeting. So welcome to the July 8th meeting of the El Sobrante Municipal Advisory Council. We are an advisory council appointed by the Contra Costa Board of Supervisors to provide advice to the board, specifically District 1 citizen perspective. And yeah, so we'll start with our roll call.
Tom Lane,
Present.
Jen Hart, Jim Herman.
Oh, present.
Mark Cleveland, here. Mickey.
Hi. Tom Owens here. Terry Edlinger. Here. Randy Lloyd. Here. I think Melinda McLean, Dr. McLean. Yeah.
Okay, would somebody like to lead us in the pledge of allegiance? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, Ronnie, treasurer's report.
We are sitting at a nice even $3,000.
Okay, have folks had a chance to look at the minutes? And if so, of the June meeting, and if so, are there any corrections, proposed corrections?
I'd like to make a motion to approve those June minutes with any potential corrections. I'll second it.
So we'll go ahead and take a vote. I'll have to abstain, but if everybody else raises their hand, for approve, I think we've got it. We approve of the minutes.
My claim? I think so.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we'll go to the first of our presentations, and that's going to be the county presentation. Ronnie, I guess, standing in for Supervisor Joya.
Good evening, everyone. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Wow, 2 people. All right. Love it. So starting with the first item that we have for our county update, in regard to the Felix Pizza mobile vendor. County staff reviewed concerns regarding the Felix Pizza mobile vendor operating here in El Sobrante. After contacting the property owner, staff confirmed that the vendor has since left the location, and staff will continue to look into the matter and will be coordinating with environmental health to verify food service licensing and ensure compliance with county regulations. So any further updates will be shared as additional information is confirmed. Moving down to the side. Food vendors on San Pablo Dam Road, specifically, I believe it's El Torito. The county civil enforcement case remains pending before the Superior Court. And while the county has requested injunctive relief to halt unpermitted operations, timeline for resolution will depend on the court's schedule and any actions taken by the defendants. And so civil enforcement cases of this nature often take several months. So and contested cases may extend beyond a year. That's not news, fun news, but it is in books. In regard to the Pebble Drive road safety update, County Public Works has completed drafting the required documents to establish a proposed weight restriction on Pebble Drive, which would prohibit commercial vehicles extending 7 tons. And the staff report, along with additional documentation, have been prepared and forwarded to County Council for review, which is a process that may take up to around 30 days. Once legal review is complete and any revisions are made, the item will be scheduled for the next available Board of Supervisors meeting. State law requires public hearing notice to be published at least 60 days before the hearing. So the anticipated hearing date is expected for late this fall. And lastly, shameless plug for our county commissions and boards. If you'd like to serve in an expanded way, we have a number of vacancies for District 1. And that will be sent out to you, the exhaustive list this Friday in the newsletter. You can reach out to me directly. So that concludes our update.
Thank you, Ryan. A question about the food vendor. So, so you're saying a motion was filed in the Superior Court?
Yeah.
And they will decide on basically what steps to take.
Yeah.
So sometimes as you know, and I'm not a lawyer, but sometimes you can ask for immediate relief pending a court decision if a party is being, actively harmed by the defendant. And if you sort of take into account the fact that they're occupying space that is required for bus service, that they're potentially causing a fire danger because they're operating fires near dried out trees, plus, county inspections have shown that they lack, elementary sanitary concerns, it would seem to me that they're doing sort of immediate harm to the community. And maybe we can ask that they be shut down pending resolution of the case.
Potentially, but again,
I'm just wondering if that option has been.
I don't know the details of the case that's pending, but any updates I'll be bringing to the council. That's a that's a great point.
And just a quick question: is Felix Pizza? I've never seen that. Where was that operated?
Oh, it was off of yeah, of Abraham. Yeah.
So where did Fran went?
Yeah.
Oh, right up there.
At the tire shop, right?
Yeah.
Other questions for Ronnie from the council? No. Folks in the audience, any questions for Ronnie about the county presentation? In that case, thank you very much for your update. Okay, so we have a delegation from the Contra Costa Sheriff's Office. We're glad you're here. So tell us all about the last month in law enforcement.
Sure, Deputy Chair, you this position, last month, June, with approximately 697 calls for service.
697.
Yes, sir. And out of all that, sure, we have out of all this 697 calls for service, generated approximately 56 reports and 82 arrests. And as far as select crimes, it's gone down 25% since May. So I got.
Any reports on July 4th fireworks?
We had quite a good call.
Well, good news is in my neighborhood, it was down probably 90%.
I believe it.
So whatever you guys are doing, you're doing well.
Sir.
So George, I think you had some questions or comments with the deputies.
In my role as a citizen, so I'll wait for other folks to talk and then I'll ask.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Did you take over for Officer Fitzgerald?
No, Lieutenant Fitzgerald, he's had me reassigned to a different position, and we're still in that transition phase as we waiting for the results of the base station.
So you don't have anybody yet signed to that?
We should in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Kind of a gray area right now.
Right.
So one question about that. I coordinate the El Sobrante stroll. I don't know if you're familiar with this.
I've heard and I've taken.
It's our big street festival.
Okay.
That happens the third Sunday of September.
Okay.
And we work closely with the sheriff's office. So as soon as you find out who the new tenant is, I'd like to get in contact with them. So maybe you can leave your card or something, and I can reach out to you by email.
Absolutely.
All right. Are there any questions?
I just have a comment. So at the last meeting you weren't here, but the lieutenant came to say goodbye. Charles, he said it regarding the stroke in particular, you can contact him directly until they find somebody else So hopefully you have this information, otherwise we should have it.
Thank you,
Yeah, he made a point of talking about that.
thank you so much, great information. Appreciate it.
I actually called to report illegal fireworks.
Yeah.
On July 4th, I had to call to report illegal fireworks, only because it didn't sound far away, it sounded like right outside where the oil project lead,
Gotcha.
and the line was busy. So I'm thinking so many reports were coming in. And usually you get a voicemail or something, yeah, it's been a long time since I heard a busy signal.
Oh, wow. We had our hands full.
But you were busy.
Yeah, just a little bit.
But my son's dog had something to say about that. Chris?
Yeah, I had a couple questions. One of them is do they have drones checking out fireworks this year? That's just me.
So I was at the, I'll answer that. So I was at the North Richmond, because I'm the polling unit out there in North Richmond. And because of our lieutenant being reassigned, we kind of stepped up and said, hey, we'll figure it out, we'll get here kind of thing. But as far as that goes, it was mostly Richmond. The county doesn't have that yet. That was more of a Richmond thing, and I was actually just looking at that on their social media the other day. Richmond posted it. I was like, why don't we have that? Maybe by next year we will. I'm sure it's something we're working on, but yeah, that would be so technology would be that would be really helpful for next year. I agree.
Sunday.
Yeah,
And my other question is that there was another illegal dump on the Honda, and I was cleaning it up and I found evidence as to who dumped it. And so I was wondering, can I get a card so I can send it to you or what the evidence is? I don't think you can prosecute, but you can notify the person, say, by the way, you know that you're dumping on the Honda.
You have to say, you have to.
If they try to get a card for you,
Oh, yeah.
it's not worth.
Further questions from the floor for the county sheriffs?
Okay, what happened on Lambert Road this morning?
What happened to us?
What was going on? I live at the end, and this is the problem, that's the house, for the last 20+ years.
The problem was.
Problem child. There has been a problem, it's generational problem at this house, so what happened?
Just to make long story short, back in March 19th, Deputy Gallardo responded to a prom shoot in the area, and through video surveillance, we were able to kind of identify people related to the incident. And working with the investigation, she wrote search warrants, and we were able to find out the people that did it, and also without disclosing, further, because it's still pending investigation, we were able to basically find out who was kind of behind all of this. And approximately, I want to say 4:30 this morning, search warrant was conducted, and suspects were taken in custody. Just kind of, to answer.
This year when the airport, I went out and I came back, so you were there for at least 6.5 hours. And I was curious to know why the bombs were up.
Correct, and obviously, no bombs were out there because we located explosives. Again, like without, because it's still under investigation, right?
Yeah,
Like, trying
I'm sure you
to,
can put two and two.
right, let's let you guys know at the same time, I don't want to jeopardize the investigation.
That kind of makes sense. Except public meeting and the public event, so that's something that I think.
But I mean, feel free to maybe reach out to our public affairs officers if you want to know more, maybe this.
Well, it's just, as I'm saying, I'm not making this up, it's been that house.
Oh, we believe-
Since I moved in the neighborhood in 2004, and it was a problem back then, it still persists today. And I was just kind of joking when I asked the first colleague who was in the cruiser, said, how come you didn't bring a bulldozer? So, take the house away, take the problem away. But, obviously that's just pie in the sky. But others is curious to know. It was just some surprise things and drive out my dead end streets, y'all there. Again, so, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any further questions for the deputies?
I'm not online.
Okay, good. Any questions from our online audience or the deputies? Okay. Thank you so much for coming and talking with us, and thank you for all you do for the community.
Thank you.
Second that.
So next on the agenda, Michelle, the Contra Costa Fire Protection District update.
Hello, Chair Lang. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Caught it just in time.
Sorry. I was speaking softly. Hello, Chair Lang, council members and members of the public. Thank you for coming tonight and being civically engaged. Quick update. I heard the question from the council to the Deputy Chen, and I wanted to just give you a rundown. 2026 4th of July for us from 10 a.m. on the 4th through 3 a.m. on the 5th. We had total incidents of 228. Total phone calls answered by fire dispatch 498, EMS calls 127, exterior fires 45, vegetation fires 12, structure fires 3, other fires 8, and all other call types 33. I heard a resident mention that they attempted to call the fireworks hotline and received a busy signal. I also heard a question about drones and the use of drones on 4th of July. I encourage those questions to be directed to our public information officer at 925 532 6512. I have two more updates for the community. First of all, the fire risk reduction community list. I've spoke about the FERCL in the past. I have good news. It was approved by the Board of Forestry and Fire Protection for all fire jurisdictions in Contra Costa County. Contra Costa, Richmond, El Cerrito, Kensington, Crockett, Kirkenes, Moraga, Orinda, and San Ramon Fire. Residents may submit proof to their insurance to qualify for a discount. It's not a guarantee for a discount, but depending on your relationship with your insurer, you can submit that as a as proof that your fire jurisdiction has been added to the fire risk reduction community list, and that is part of the Safer from Wildfires framework from the California Insurance Commissioner's Office. I will provide a link in the chat for Ronnie if anyone needs a copy of that list emailed for submission to their insurance. Please feel free to email me directly. I will email you the list and you can submit it to your insurance. Please note that the Firewise community in good standing is also a qualifying action under the Safer from Wildfires framework. And I'll place another link into the chat. Also, I'm willing to have follow-up conversations with those who need it most. And finally, the Contra Costa Office of Emergency Services Community Warning System encourages residents to register for county alerts at cws.com. Currently, there is a survey available in English and in Spanish seeking community feedback to improve emergency alerts and preparedness communications, and we would appreciate your help to promote the survey through your communication channels. Survey results will help inform future enhancements to CWS, public alerting strategies, preparedness education, and outreach efforts. We're asking for your help to share this, and I will place the link into the chat, and I can also email that out to anyone willing to share it. We've received 700 responses so far, and we'd like to get that number to 4 figures. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michelle. Do we have any questions from the council for Michelle Reinhardt?
Well, yeah, a question I just want to get it done. To report it to the insurance company, what am I reporting to them? Specifically, what do I say to the insurance company, Michelle?
Michelle, did you hear the question?
I did not. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. I said that if I contact my insurance company for a possible discount.
Yes.
What do I tell them the reason is?
That your fire jurisdiction has qualified and has been approved for the fire risk reduction community list by the Board of Forestry and Fire Protection. This list, being on this list, could qualify you for an insurance discount.
Wonderful. Okay. So can I get that again? I'm an older guy. So it takes me 5 minutes to write all the things down that you said.
Oh, sure.
Can I just get you don't need to repeat it, can I just get it, I can get it from my associate here, he writes really fast.
No,
Nice.
I'm happy to converse with any member of the public or council that needs additional information, and I can send you the actual PDF by email, so it's very easy. Just let me know. Ronnie has my contact information.
Okay, thank you, Michelle.
Michelle, I think that's probably relevant for all of us.
Yeah.
Maybe this is something that could come out in Ronnie's email blast that he puts out after the meeting. Would that be okay?
Sure.
Ronnie, do you think you could do that?
Yeah.
So you know the email blast that comes out?
Yeah.
So
Put it in there. Okay.
The information will be there.
Yeah, thank you.
okay, from the go ahead.
So you said our zone has qualified as a the fire risk
Reduction.
is the whole zone, or is it individual houses that have taken extra steps to mitigate their risk?
Individual houses could qualify if they're part of a Firewise community, but the fire risk reduction community list is a little bit more than that. So basically, the Board of Forestry creates a goal line and says, we need you to do these things to show us how you're engaging with the community, what you're doing, right? And I'll put in the frequently asked questions into the link also, so Ronnie has all of the information. But it's not only for grant applications from the fire district, but also residents can utilize that in communicating with their insurance company. So again, I'll provide the list and the frequently asked questions to Ronnie. I'll share that in the chat now for you, Ronnie. If you have any additional questions, if a member of the public or the council needs to reach out to me, I look forward to having that conversation.
Further questions for Michelle from the audience? Oh, okay, Jen.
I was just curious what other fires meant, because you seem to give a pretty exhaustive list and then had other.
Yes. So the other category, how they classified those fires, again, that would be a question for our public information officer. And I've placed the number into the chat if you need it.
Questions from the audience and the council for Michelle? Okay, thank you as always, Michelle. We really appreciate your being here and giving us the updates from the Fire Protection District.
Sorry, online quick question. Just
okay, please go ahead.
Is there just a place you can send me to? Because I'm curious on I heard all the metrics you said for the fires that were experienced over the weekend. I'm just curious to see like how that compares to whatever over the last month, the last year, the last 10 years, whatever. Is there just a spot that I can see some sort of a table or something like that?
Well, for right now, I can provide you with the current numbers. Again, our PIO can tell you how that's increased or decreased over time. And if you email info at ccccfpd.org and ask that question, sir, you will get a competent, well-informed answer. I just don't have those numbers at my fingertips currently.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just looking for some place that I can, sit down on my computer and just look at the numbers. I'm just curious.
Absolutely.
Michelle, could you type that URL into the chat so Zach can get it?
Yes.
All right, Zach. Michelle's just typing it in the chat. So if you open the chat, see the place to go.
Sounds good. Appreciate it. Thank you.
And Zach, if you want to follow us on social media, those frequent updates about fires and updates for the community are also located on our Facebook page.
I'm not a social media guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll have it as part of our annual report or, report outs for the fire chief's report to the Board of Supervisors. But yeah, regular updates or detailed information such as that, please feel free to reach out to our PIO. She's great at answering those questions.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Anytime.
So if we don't have any further questions for Michelle, I think we'll move to our next agenda item. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Thank you.
So we have Ryan Lau from AC Transit, who's going to tell us an overview of the AC Transit programs.
So appreciate you having me. I was hoping that our board director, representative, was going to join us, but he's sort of doing double duty because he has one of our board meetings before this. So I guess it must have sort of passed when I was going to give. But good evening, Ryan Lau, External Affairs Representative at AC Transit. Really appreciate you having us today to share the essential role that AC Transit plays in the everyday lives of people in El Sobrante and all of the East Bay. I'm here along with Sean Distoru. I can never say his last name. I'm sorry. Our service planning manager, to just talk about everything that's happening with AC Transit, including some of our current budget challenges and what might happen without a long-term solution. And first, let's start with who we are. So the Alameda Contra Costa Transit District is not an agency of any East Bay city. We're actually a special district serving 13 cities and 8 unincorporated areas, communities, including El Sobrante, across Alameda and Contra Costa counties. We span 364 square miles. We carry more than 3 million riders each month and are governed by a publicly elected board of directors. 3 out of 4 of our riders are people of color, and nearly two-thirds are low income, making AC Transit an essential lifeline service for all of the communities that we serve. That's why for more than 65 years, we've strategically located bus facilities throughout the service area, one in Oakland, one in Emeryville, Hayward, and Richmond, keeping buses close to the communities that rely on them every day. We're also proud to have received the top honor of Outstanding Public Transportation System in the United States in 2020. Being a top transit agency translates into 40 million rides every single year. So let's unpack that number. More than 140,000 rides per typical weekday, and more than 160,000 rides every single weekend. Each weekday, more than 9,500 riders use our Transbay lines, which is a critical service connecting East Bay commuters to jobs across the Bay. We're also the East Bay school bus, so we transport 30,000 students to their schools every weekday. So February and March and April, we delivered 3 consecutive year-over-year ridership growth numbers since the pandemic. We're also a workforce first employer. We support more than 5,100 jobs across the East Bay, and more than half of those are actually outside of our agency. Together, they generate over $604 million in annual wages, and they inject nearly $1 billion in the East Bay economy every single year. Every bus we operate creates jobs, supports local businesses, and strengthens our community. While we fuel the East Bay economy, we're also a leader in cleaning the air. For over a quarter of a century, AC Transit has led the nation in zero emission buses. Today, we have a fleet of 58 zero emission buses, including 30 hydrogen fuel cell and 28 battery electric. We're also a leader in workforce development. So we actually garnered a $40 million investment. There's our board director, representative. I was just telling them that sort of hung up at the board meeting, so I had to start with that. Sorry. We garnered a $40 million federal investment toward the Zero Emission Bus University, really the first in this nation. We partnered with Chabot College along with the Amalgamated Transit Union, our local union, to prepare the mechanics for the transportation industry of the future. Riders recognize our value because they're we're making transit more affordable, faster, and safer. Easy Pass provides unlimited rides at deep discounts for participating boys, colleges, and communities. As it says here, we deliver 4.7 million annual rides to that program. Clipper Start gives income-eligible adults half off every ride. And then we redesigned 104 bus lines last summer under our line network configuration. We also have smart cameras mounted inside the buses to help keep bus lanes and bus stops clear, improving safety and reliability. Just quickly, I mentioned 3 out of 4 transit riders are AC transit riders are low color and 2/3 are low income. But we just want to put that into perspective. More than half make less than $50,000 a year, below the federal poverty line in one of the most expensive areas in the nation. And many are already struggling to afford essentials like housing and transportation, which explains why 65% of our riders are transit dependent. The service cuts. They would not be an inconvenience service cuts. They would actually upend the lives of most of our riders. So just quickly, you probably all heard the term good steward of public dollars. And simply put, that means that we make the most out of every taxpayer dollar that we use. And we recognize that any fare that's unpaid doesn't just magically disappear those costs. It actually creates a funding gap, which is why we launched our multilingual fare required fare compliance campaign this month. And it's very simple: pay the fare and protect the bus line. Also, we had a comprehensive state audit review, which basically found that we collaborate and synchronize our system very well with other state bus agencies. Our collective real challenges are sustainable funding, not mismanagement. Additionally, an independent review also confirmed an average annual savings of $33 million since 2020. This commitment to making every taxpayer dollar count is how we garnered a AA+ credit rating. So how did this happen? Federal pandemic relief has disappeared. It's gone. We spent it all. Regional sales tax revenue has flattened. The fare revenue growth has slowed. At the same time, fuel costs have gone up by 28%. Bus parts cost 14% more, and new buses cost 35% more. So we haven't sat on our laurels. We've tightened our belts. Just this last fiscal year, we've managed to shed $9 million off our expenses. How did we do that? We focused on hiring only for positions that directly support service. We scaled back temporary staffing and saved $2 million annually. We brought outside professional services in-house. We've been partnering with other agencies to purchase goods and services for less. And we even restructured temporarily our payments to the pension plan to preserve cash. Let's see. And yeah, so every single dollar counts, because over the next 4 years, we're looking at a $200 million deficit over the next 4 years, which translates to about $50 million a year starting in 2027. Without long-term sustainable revenues, we will be forced to cut service by 16%, which the human impact would be measured in 300 layoffs from our agency. So obviously, we're not only looking at a booming service crisis, we're also looking at workforce and community crisis as well. We have been thrown a temporary lifeline. It's just that temporary. It's a state bridge loan, and we have to pay it back with interest. It would provide $55 million, just enough to close this coming year's budget gap. But obviously, next summer, that loan is gone, reserves are exhausted, and the funding challenge returns. So basically, the only saving grace is the Connect Bay Area Act, which would be a measure that would go before voters in 5 counties, which would be a 14-year half-cent sales tax or a 1 cent sales tax in San Francisco. It would generate roughly $980 million annually for Bay Area buses, trains, and ferries, of which DC Transit would receive $52 million, which would prevent cuts to bus service. With that, I will turn it over to Sean to give you a little bit more about what that might look like on the ground.
Thanks, Frank. Appreciate it. So good evening, Sean Diesel-Jean, AC Transit Service Planning Manager. So in these uncertain financial times, our approach is really simple. It's plan for the worst and hope for the best. That's why we developed a worst case scenario contingency service plan. And that's what it is. It's really contingency and will only take effect if, as Ryan said, we don't get that long-term funding secured by the end of this year. If that happens, our priority is protecting as much service as possible. The contingency plan preserves the realigned network, which we just launched last August. And those guiding principles that were approved by our board are very clear. Minimize route eliminations, protect hours of service, and maintain frequent bus service where the riders depend on it most. So the proposed contingency plan is designed to protect the most service where there's the greatest number of riders, which is we have in our board policy 545 is listed as a primary route network, which is really the backbone of the network. And so the backbone of the network is for the most part protected. The lines listed on the screen above, the 1T, the 6, the 9, the 18, the 40, 51A, 51B, 52, 57, and the 72L San Pablo corridor. We're going to preserve that service because those lines, I keep those at 15 minutes or better. And so those are basically the busiest bus lines and the major travel corridors, that are going to remain at the highest priority. And this, so like as I mentioned, in this area, San Pablo Avenue is one of the main corridors where we operate the 72 and 72M, both at 30 minutes, and on top of that, we have 30-minute 72L. Other primary route network lines that we have are going to be operate between the hours of 6 and 10 p.m. And one of those lines is 76, which operates along Cutting Boulevard in this area. And most of the other primary route network lines are going to operate every 30 minutes, which is in line with our service standards in board policy 545. Kind of looking at West County a little closer. Again, on Cutting Boulevard, we operate line 70 and 76. Both of those routes are every 30 minutes. So on Cutting Boulevards on weekdays, we're going to have those routes continue at 30 minutes, providing a 15-minute service along Cutting Boulevard, which is one of the main corridors in the area. Line 74 and 71 are gonna operate every 40 minutes on weekdays. And then other route, and then on weekends, I believe the 74 will operate at 40 minutes and the 76, or excuse me, 71 will operate every 60 minutes. And one of the biggest changes that we're making, and you can kind of see it by the map. So if you look at the map, that's an area, that's this West Contra Costa area. So you've got the dark colors are really lines or areas where you're seeing span reductions, and span reductions means basically the hours that we're operating. So you're going to see a lot of routes, or some of those routes would have start at 7 a.m. and then end at 7 p.m. So shorter hours of operation. The lines in yellow, the areas in yellow would have frequency reductions. So potentially going from say 30 minutes to maybe 40 minutes on some routes. And that could be on weekdays or weekends. And then some on the red may have span reductions and frequency reductions. I know this doesn't really impact a lot of the folks here, but we have trans-based service, throughout the East Bay. We have Line L in this area. And we're going to be reducing some trips. So I think right now we operate 4 trips in the morning and 4 in the afternoon. I think we'll be going to 3 and 3. And then one of the biggest changes is on weekends. Right now we operate the F and L and O, which are all-day trans-bay routes that go to San Francisco. They operate locally. They go to San Francisco. And on weekends, we're proposing to eliminate that service entirely. On weekends, yes. And this is just a kind of a map. We try to preserve as much of the network as possible. We essentially didn't touch. From a routes network perspective, we maintained about 93% of our routes. So we didn't make modifications, or we didn't want to change the whole network. But there are a few routes that did, because of low ridership, low productivity. We are proposing some eliminations if this has to happen. Lines 19, which serves Alameda in Oakland, would be eliminated. The 46L, which serves Grass Valley in Oakland, and then also we have 3 all-nighter routes. We have 3 all-nighter routes that operate between the hours of like 12 and 6. Those 3 of those would be eliminated. The 802, which serves San Pablo up to University, the 805, which serves MacArthur Boulevard, and the 840, which serves Foothill Boulevard. All 3 of those would be eliminated. On the other side, we would actually, we know there is a little bit of ridership on those routes, so we're going to basically start some of our local routes that cover the same areas about an hour earlier. So they'll be starting at 4 a.m. to pick up the small amount of ridership that we do see today. In this part of in West County, one of the routes I might have mentioned earlier, the 70, which currently operates up to Del Norte Park, would be truncated on weekends. And so we truncate that route at Richmond Park. And then looking kind of at the road ahead, where we're at right now, we're next in August, we'll be going to our board to ask to set a public hearing. That will be potentially set for October. And then there's going to be a general election in November. And really based on the results of that election, if that measure doesn't pass, we'd have to go to our board with they would basically in December we'd go to the board and they would have to approve. They could approve the proposed contingency service plan, and then those changes would be implemented in June of 2027. 30%.
First of all, I apologize for being late. We were at the board meeting. Just got out of that today, 2nd and 4th Wednesday of the month. Obviously, thank you, Ryan and Sean, giving the presentation. I grew up in Berkeley. We lived on Gilman and in Hopkins. And my mom would used to take the bus all the way to Embry-Ville, and she was a cook in San Francisco. And ride to San Francisco and then work at the restaurant and come back at night. And AC was a lifeline to all of our family back in the 70s. So, and I'm sure it's something you all have used AC Transit as well. So obviously you heard what's happening. It's nothing strange to us. It's happening to all the transit agencies. And of course, I was just appointed to the AC board. Of course, our beloved Chris Peoples passed away in Ward 1. Ward 1 is Albany, El Cerrito, Richmond, and San Pablo. This is extended of the routes in this direction from the Old Coast to West Cap. So in this area, you've heard about what the changes have been and what changes may come forward if the initiative or the ballot doesn't pass, and that's true for all the transit agency. So making sure that everything, and you heard everything that was presented, I think we have the QR code. You can of course learn more about our proposed contingency plans, and there's also a place where you can fill out the service card in the back. And of course, you can always email us, is on the bottom part, which is planning@actransit.org, or just visit our actransit.org to learn more. So not taking too much time. I thought we were on the 5th on the agenda, but I guess we moved up. Thank you for all your, but if you have any questions, we would love to answer any questions that you have.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for the presentation, and I would like to open it up to the council.
Yeah, so when you put the eliminations, has that happened already? In the PowerPoint, or those proposed?
Everything on the PowerPoint, these are proposed eliminations that could be intentionally implemented next June.
Okay.
June 27th.
If we don't get the half-cent.
If we're not able to get that.
And the half-cent, so that's the same initiative they're proposing to cut, like a bunch of art stations.
It's all wrapped in one, yeah.
Transit agencies across five years.
Yeah, is AC Transit only West County covered, or is it covered?
Well, West across the county
West County.
and much of Alameda County.
So basically Richmond and Fremont,
Yeah.
everything basically Richmond all the way down to Fremont, between the hills and the water.
Okay.
That whole area.
And when it said it covers the schools, the school buses, and are the school buses the same as the other buses? I mean, they generally just get a pass to use the service, or is it the dedicated school bus?
So we have, all of our buses are open to the general public. We have our normal buses that run, all day long. At whatever frequency, 30 minutes, hourly, 15 minutes. We do as an agency offer these lines called supplementary bus services. They're typically numbered, you'll probably see them around with a 600 number. A lot of folks don't know what they are, but essentially, they're buses added on top of our local service and network that students use. We schedule them with bell schedules in mind for the various high schools and middle schools. There are programs in I think through West Contra Costa Unified, where kids can get a free bus pass, depending on if they go to class and then all of that. So there are programs available, and then that's more for West Contra Costa. In Alameda County, there is a student transit pass program that's it's for some schools it's universal, in other schools it's more of a means-based program. But yeah, we have service in West Contra Costa County that serves, I think, 8 of the junior high/high schools. At this point, there's no proposed eliminations as part of our plan to reduce that service. But it's, we understand that's a very essential service that obviously getting kids to school is a big deal. And so we prioritize that and said at this point, we're not touching that part of the plan.
If I could add on to Sean's, we just got a call from West Contra Costa Unified just a couple of months ago. Because the school enrollment is down in different places, they're also combining schools. So we're making sure that at Betty Reed Soskin, we're realigning so that the kids who may be going to different school will be able to get to those schools as well. So that's an added cost, but we're taking care of that. Of course, the 669 comes out of Castro Ranch Road, connects at the Enzo High School and other schools. Those are the specific hours that they go mornings and time for the school is out.
Okay, George.
So how are you combating the sense of tax fatigue? Because we've been getting lots of requests, bond measures, tax measures, and basically people have said we've had enough. So what are you doing how are you going to position this? I mean, you gave us the slide presentation, which is very helpful. But are you going to provide some other statistic behind it, like if we do this, X number of people will be driving and there'll be more cars on the road, and why a number of people will be out of their job because they can't get to their job. And you mentioned the fact that the ridership is predominantly of color and of low income. But how are you going to amplify this to get the message across to the people who don't ride it and aren't of color and aren't low income.
Yeah, I mean. You know, Director Sandu can probably.
Well, politically, we are forbidden to talk about how you should vote and why you should vote. There are agencies, 501(c)s and other agencies who are making the effort. They're the ones who collected the number of signatures that were submitted. So those are being done. Of course, as you may have heard, BART is presenting as we are as to how many, if something were to be cut, the 15 stations will be closed, or we're going back to 16% reduction, and that may happen, and that's information we can give out. Now, BART also talked about if one of the stations, if one of the lines through the tunnel, it would change, that would take 120 buses to transport the number of passengers traveling through just there. So it's going to impact all this. Can we proactively talk about it? No, I cannot endorse it. I cannot tell you for it, but the information is we're making the effort to going out presenting it, and of course the nonprofit agencies are the ones who are putting the information out there. How and when you can vote and for whom you should vote for.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just tap onto that. I mean, obviously, if transit agencies in 5 counties are impacted, then those people are on the roads. So if you don't take public transit now, you're probably going to be stuck in a lot of gridlock. And then additionally, the stat that I did provide, the 5,100 jobs, the $604 million in annual wages and $1 billion of annual sales. Obviously, that will be affected as well if we're not providing as much service. So.
And let me just touch a little point. The funding that comes to the federal government, as you all know, my other job is working with Congressman Garamendi. A lot of the funding that comes out of the feds, there's the surface reauthorization bill that's in Congress right now, which is every 5-6 years they reauthorize it and the funding comes in, which is $580 billion for the whole United States, transportation, roads, infrastructure, trains, planes, everything else. Unfortunately, in that budget, the transportation, rail and transit actually has a 45% decrease in funding. So, which is why many of these funds have been cut out because of the federal funding resources.
Okay, one question, can you give us an idea of what the ridership was pre-pandemic, pandemic, and how's it rebounded? And what are the trends?
I want to say our pre-pandemic, our ridership was averaging about 175 to 80,000.
It's like 53 million a year.
Yeah. But per day, about 100, because you saw today we're at about 141. I think during the pandemic we were down at 120,000, right? Probably 120,000.
I can't do.
Yeah, it was.
I think it was like 20 million. It got cut in less than half, and then now we're at 40 million.
And every month we've been
getting
up
that.
and
It's coming back. Yeah, we're back. But I definitely pre-pandemic we were in that about 100, almost 180,000.
But you're not back up there yet.
No, we're not. We're at, like I said, 141. I think we're at 70% of 75% of pre-pandemic goals.
That hurts.
Yeah.
Further question.
And even I was going to say even before after COVID, we're only at 85% of our service levels. We haven't even gotten to 100% at that point, and now we're talking about going back another 16%, right? So.
Terry has a question.
Really off topic of your budget. I have several friends that ride buses and they've been asking me why there's certain places for long stretches that don't have benches and how benches are required for a bus stop and how all that they're in. Like for instance, if they leave the triangle area in El Sobrante and go to Knoll along the way, that's a long ways, and most of the bus stops don't have benches, and I've been noticing that since they said that to me. And so I kind of wonder who gets benches and who doesn't. And if that's not appropriate for tonight, I can look it up online, but since you're here, I thought I'd ask.
That might be a good question for Ronnie. It's the local municipality that makes that determination. So in incorporated areas, it's the city. For benches specifically, and unincorporated, it would be the county For shelters, which are kind of a different animal, we just recently took that over. It used to be Clear Channel Outdoor, and the agreement was they get the ad revenue from the shelter, and in return they maintain the shelters. So they weren't doing a great job as far as our estimation, so we took it over. So we're still kind of in the process of figuring all of that stuff out because it's relatively new. But you can maybe send us an email at planning@actransit.org and we can kind of be in touch that way. But it sounds like Sean is gonna.
No, I was gonna say that you actually just kind of said what I was thinking, that for shelters, we do have we have a certain amount of shelters right now. It's kind of, they've been sort of legacy, they've been around for a long time, and as issues are happening right now, we're sort of there are some shelters that have been removed because they've been destroyed or vandalized. So that number has been going down. But we've kind of internally are working on a criteria to figure out, like, based on ridership. There's like a equity. There's lots of criteria that we're looking at putting together and really trying to say, if we were going to put a new shelter, these could be the highest priority. So we're working on that right now, developing that based on our board's direction. I want to say last year or so.
And I'll just piggyback on that. So this is new, and so this lens that Sean just discussed, like equity and all this, that's not how Clear Channel operated. It's like, where do we get the most eyes? We'll put a shelter there. And I will also mention, if you ever see the conditions of shelters in Oakland, do not blame that on us, because they opted out of our shelter program. Those are all Oakland installed, owned, and maintained by them. So if you go into downtown Oakland and you see,
the city.
yeah. So.
All right, thank you.
Further questions either from the council or the floor for AC Transit? Chris?
Yeah, first, I just wanted to comment that the last Chamber of Commerce mixer, there was a mayoral candidate for Richmond who arrived and left by bus. So I don't know what that exactly means, but I thought it was interesting to see him hang out at the bus stop to leave. Then my two questions are how you coordinate the eliminations or adjustments with the BART, what their schedules and where they go, because I don't know whether you say people can hop off a bus and maybe go to BART and then get back off, or is that too complicated? And then the other thing has to do with, I saw you said about bringing more contract work in-house. And I presume that means you're having the people already hired, because it seems like if you're hiring new people, you're adding a lot of costs in terms of benefits and salaries and so forth. And so in some cases, contracting might be an easier, less expensive if it's a short-term situation. So if you could just talk about either or both of those.
I can go with the first one. So, regarding the BART, we do, we have service that touches almost every BART station in East Bay. Depending on how, if the routes are extremely frequent, BART's running currently pretty frequent, we're not probably tying everything to the BART station. And we do have there's a rider profile survey that's coming out that'll give us more information about, do our riders actually, the people on our buses, are they really transferring? We do have ridership at every bus stop on every route. So we know how many people get off at a BART station, how many people get on, along the entire route. We know where people are getting on and off. We don't know when they get off the BART station, are they transferring between two buses? Are they transferring to a BART train? So with that rider profile survey that we're going to be getting, that'll give us a lot of insight as to, is there really a connection that we need to make at a particular BART station? That said, with this potential, change in service that could happen if this measure doesn't pass, BART will be looking to go to every 30 minutes on every line, right? So every train, instead of being, say, 10 minutes now, every 10 minutes at a BART station or whatever, they're talking about going every 30 minutes. And so it's going to be a real challenge for us. I think we're going to try to do our best. We've been coordinating with BART, talking. Their schedules are going to be set. Probably, it's likely if this measure doesn't go in, they're going to go to that 30-minute schedule starting in January of 2027. So right after November, if it doesn't pass, they'll go to 30 minutes. And then AC Transit, our first time to make changes is gonna be in June. So at that point, we're gonna have to see if we can try to line up as many of our services that we think have a connection, if there's a need. If ours is at 30, if our route's at 30 minutes or our route's at 60 minutes, there may be potential to try to time those routes. If our routes are at every 40 minutes, because we've had to reduce service, and they're at every 30 minutes, it's gonna be very difficult. We may have to pick one trip in the morning that's the peak commute trip that people are trying to get to work. Try to time that one, and then whatever happens over the course of the day, you know, it might just have to happen. So we're gonna do our best, because obviously we know if there are cases where we know that there's demand out of our for AC Transit to work, we're gonna do the best we can and try to provide that connection, you know, because obviously trying to wait for one, get off a bus that you waited for 40 minutes, then getting out the BART station, you have to wait another 30 minutes, it's gonna be an arduous task for any kind of transit, you know, connection. So we're gonna try to minimize that as best we can. But we're gonna have to see how that plays out when we have all the more information that we can have.
And Chris, just to add on, even this morning, meeting with BART and AC this morning, we were discussing that. And of course, they're gonna align it so that even when the last train comes in, the bus is leaving after that, so that even when they're end, the middle of the passengers sitting in the BART station, so they'll coordinate with the buses leaving after the last trains, thereafter.
I don't know if Director Sandhu has more on your second question, but basically we're doing more with less. It's really the answer there. You know, we've, as I mentioned, maintained hiring to only mission critical staffing. And so when we bring professional services in-house, it's not like we're hiring additional staff, we're finding inventive ways to figure out those challenges.
Take these people's right by.
Yeah. I don't know if you have more.
And Brian, you talked about private transit as well, show that there are minimal cuts in there, and that's gonna be a continuation of that.
They're keeping more service oriented.
Also, yeah, because most of our changes are you know, temporal or and not geographic, right? We're not really truncating contracting the network. So there's gonna be there's a minimal amount of paratransit impacts. I wanna say should I give it
I think we've made a very conscientious effort to not affect paratransit, particularly because, you know, they're very reliant on that service. So
I was just gonna say that service is basically there's a, you know, you look at BART and AC Transit's route network, and then you have to put like a 3/4 mile buffer around all those routes and bus stops, and that's where the paratransit network is. Based on the service. So since we haven't really changed much, there's minimal impacts to that paratransit network. There may be times of the day, because our service runs less, that maybe you're gonna reduce, if there might be some trips that maybe you can't take after 7 o'clock because that service is now eliminated. Or, you know, we've reduced the span of service to say 7 to 7, so that paratransit service may not be available on a certain trip after those hours. So it's really based on our network and when we're operating service. So.
Are there any further questions for AC Transit guests? In that case, thank you so much for coming and writing with us. It sounds like some tough sledding ahead. So one thing that might be useful is maybe let us know what some of the nonprofits are that are working on behalf of public transit. So folks might want to get in contact with them. If that isn't,
I'm trying to figure out
your ethical boundaries.
I will go back to the office and find out what we can provide them. Because there's a clear firewall between the public agency and your advocates.
They have to the pro and the con contacts and balance something.
All right.
But I'm sure they're listening onto your website every time they'll probably get back.
But on that other note, you know, we did provide that feedback form. And so I believe that Ryan will be able to send that out in the blast. So if you could share that out with your networks, we'd really appreciate that.
Hey, thank you.
Yes. I was just gonna add on that website as well. We didn't provide like a detailed breakdown of every route and every change that we're proposing, but obviously on that website, there is a page where you can see like, oh, this line, we're proposing reduction of service between these hours or whatever those examples are. So you can find that information. Thank you.
Yeah, you guys.
Alright. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
So I don't think we have any discussion items. Please forgive me, did you already cover the noise ordinance?
There's no update.
No update. So we're still waiting for an ordinance to be put before the boards and projects. Any idea when that might arrive?
No, Pakistan, no.
So this is the time when we have public comment. So for 2 minutes, people get to comment on anything that isn't on the agenda that they're interested in bringing up. Hopefully relevant to our life here in El Sobrante. So yeah.
I had one thing, so at our last meeting, I'm sorry for your name, but you brought up almost being hit or possibly being hit at being Lane and San Pablo Dam Road. And I drive by that intersection, I'm sure a lot of people do like this every day. I love turning right on red as an institution, as a part of our culture, but that entire intersection in all directions would be a very good candidate to look into, like no right on red. Just based on visibility and pace, as a possible solution to people getting hit
Yeah,
across.
I was gonna bring it up again too. I actually took pictures, but the previous meeting when I brought it up, somebody said that the problem is that there's a green arrow. There is never a green arrow when there is a walk sign.
Yeah.
Okay, when the walk signal is on, there is no green arrow.
Yeah, I think just it should be no right on red and like there shouldn't be green arrow. But, so.
What are you talking about?
After I did San Pablo Dam Road.
And where?
When we're doing our demonstration. Okay, well, when I was doing the green team, I had my cart. And yeah, I was trying to cross Appy way there. And there was a guy trying to make a right turn. And I could see he was not looking. He was looking for the oncoming traffic and not looking for pedestrians. And so I hesitated, but then I didn't want to miss the light. So I put my cart between me and the car, thinking that if he started up without looking, he would hit the cart first, and it would make him stop up and he'd be hurt. And that's what happened. He never looked. He hit the cart. And he looked up then when he hit the cart, and he saw me, and there was this look of horror on his face, and I yelled at him. I said, I have the walk signal.
Seriously.
But yeah, I could have been hurt, you know, if I hadn't had the cart. I just had my sign when I'm demonstrating.
I'm sorry that you experienced that. It sounds like I would agree with you.
Well, I think that's a good idea, no right turn on red. My idea originally was right turn yield to pedestrian. Then maybe.
That's all. That's all.
That's a rule. I just something to remark on that. But yeah, maybe no right turn on red is better.
There's barely any room for pedestrians on all those corners, and I wonder why not add traffic belts, have areas for pedestrians and narrow the lanes so that there's more room for people to stand there, or maybe add barriers. People actually have to drive around something to make a right turn. They just cut through the corner.
Okay, another one I want to mention is that corner there, the I don't know, if San Pablo Dam is where the area is happening here, is this corner, the one with the railing?
Yeah.
Okay, I had reported a number of meetings ago that, yeah, somebody mentioned that the utility box is crumbled and has holes in the cement. And so I took a picture of it and I sent it to Mobile Citizen report. Okay, so then they put in, I got a response from the guy who was here, the public works guy who was here. And he said they had to find out whose utility box it was and they should repair that. But yeah, they somebody put in an extension on the railing. Okay, and they cemented it in, it was bolted into the cement of the corner, which they had repaired. Okay, and then the next week after that, because I'm there every Friday, on the next week after that, somebody had plowed through the new railing. So it was torn out of cement and the cement was all crumbled, the curve. Okay, and so then I took another picture and I reported it again to Noble Citizen. Okay, so the weekend after that, the week after that, they had put orange cones there. And the weekend after that, the orange cones had vanished. And that's, so we're back where we were before.
So it sounds like.
And it's dangerous, because if they could plow into the corner enough to tear the railing out of the cement, they could really hurt somebody if they hit them.
It sounds like something that, might result in concrete action, just sort of like you've been following Pebble Drive, right? And at least of all the things that were proposed, getting rid of trucks that are above a certain weight, at least that's something that'll improve the safety of folks there. So maybe I could write a letter to John, bringing up your comment about at least potentially having what agency looks at road signs?
It's Public Works.
Public Works, look at the possibility of a no turn on red in that intersection. I mean, that would be a start.
Weren't they wasn't there a plan to redevelop this whole intersection and?
She's talking about that.
Not
specific for the intersection.
I thought it was farther up, I don't know, I thought it was that interesting.
Yeah, I think that's a whole sort of San Pablo Dam Road thing.
Yeah.
And some future, I wouldn't say it's quite science fiction.
For what it's worth, that's the entire reason I came here today, was I just haven't had an opportunity to come down in about 2 years, but I remember coming 2 years ago and asking about the San Pablo Dam Road, that maybe reducing a lane or two would reduce the amount of speeding, it would add room for more parking and bike lanes, that would help local businesses. That was 2 years ago and I've seen no changes, and I just wanted to get an update, like what's the deal, or what kind of pressure do we need to apply to get something?
Well, they're still looking for funding.
I mean, how much does it cost to repaint lines?
It's
$8 to $10 million.
It's that, and then it's also, doing the full analysis of what the implications are. And that in itself requires resources and allocation of funds. So.
From a timing perspective, if you've driven out Dam Road towards where you can see, I call them bollards. And they were installed. And then, of course, they all get destroyed because people drive crazy. And it sits there and sits there, and it's like it took them quite a long time to get those bollards up. And that's a, as you know, section of the road that doesn't have anything other than the wildlife, and you get the reservoir, and that's it. And you saw how long it took them to do that. And to me, that's what I would call a simple project.
Yeah.
And so that's my phrase for it. So for something like this, which we all know, because we've sat it, we've seen it, we drive on Dam Road, and every time I was like, why is this 4 lanes each way? Why is it like a mini expressway? Why not shrink it down to like 3 lanes, 1 in each direction and a middle turn lane, to make it, reduce the speeds, fewer accidents. So we heard one like last week where another one that had an accident, car flipped over. It's things like that. And as what Mr. Owen said down there, it's a money thing. It really is. It's sad, but it's a money thing and also priority, because it's county. So it balances our interests here against all the other unincorporated areas in this 50-mile wide county that have issues that we do with the roads and things like that. So it's frustrating. We hear you. It's frustrating to us. It's frustrating everybody in this room, because we want something that will be better for us and safer, and we're just kind of not getting it. It's just It's unfortunate.
So, thank you for your question, though. Are there further open agenda comments either from the council? Harry?
The El Sobrante Chamber of Commerce is having a fundraiser for the stroll. We're calling it the brush hour, so cute, right? The brush hour. And the idea is that you go to PJ's and enjoy complimentary hors d'oeuvres while painting an artist guided landscape. Funds go to pay for traffic safety at the traffic safety.
Oh.
Timely, right? At the stroll. And the tickets are $50 each. And it's from it's on July 13th from 4:30 p.m. to 6:30.
During brush hour.
So just to comment on that, I am part of the group that puts together the stroll, and kind of my main responsibility is traffic safety. And when it started out, we had literally, just a bunch of guys laying down cones anywhere they could find cones and lay them down. And there were high school kids manning the intersections. And so we've worked on that. So now we have a professional private security company that's manning the intersection, and we have an actual, a company that comes down with cones and barriers and lays them down and closes off the traffic so that our security company can take control of that. And unfortunately, that takes money. And so the fundraiser that Harry just described is going to pay for part of that. And it's something that does make the stroll safer and, really easier to carry out, so that we can focus our attention on people having fun as opposed to manning intersections.
And there are thousands of them.
We get 25, we estimate 25,000 people on the damn road over the course of that Sunday. So.
Where does the rest of the funding come that's not made up in donations?
So we have a number of sources of funding. When we sell booths, those can be like your business booths, crafters, food trucks, things like that. They pay a fee.
And that's enough to cover everything from stroll.
No, but that covers a good chunk of it. Other things, we sell T-shirts, we get sponsorships from various agencies, including the West County
wastewater,
and our friends in the city of Richmond as well.
Yep.
The county provides us with the sheriff's department and search and rescue during the day. And then we sell what are called T-shirt sponsorships. So if you've ever seen the stroll T-shirts, they have a zillion names of a zillion businesses on the back. They all pay to get their names on the T-shirt. So we have various creative ways to raise money.
This is last.
Yeah, the t-shirts our t-shirts are always good. But you have to wear a sweater over them, so
this year we have a T-shirt that is the theme this year is out of this world, and it's extraterrestrial focused. So we have a little green man on the T-shirt, and one of the things we're doing is putting together a science talk the day before at the good table. So we'll have people will talk about different areas related to science, including a gentleman who is an expert on SETI and the likelihood of finding alien life in the universe. So yeah, it's going to be fun this year.
That's awesome. We need volunteers.
And
we need volunteers for a variety of things during the day, if you have the time. Any hands makes light work.
You ever know?
You have a card?
So what you can, we know you through Ronnie.
Yes, so
And
hello everyone, I'm Savannah and I am an intern at John Joya's office this summer. I am working on a project called Community Voices, Building Resilient Communities in District 1, where I am interviewing residents, community members, MAC members, and supervisors and attending meetings where I hope to find the holes and the void in the the policies that people would like more of a say on, and how we can better improve our community through different variety of different voices. So yeah, I'd love to go talk to anyone that has a moment after this meeting is over, and I have a survey that I'm sure Ronnie can put in the email he'll send you guys afterwards, where it just discusses everything that I'd like to go into, that I'm going to be working on this project with. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Savannah, if you want to
Yeah.
volunteer for the stroll, we can reach out to you through Ronnie and maybe give you an idea of what areas probably could use your help.
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
you know, we always need people to help register participants in the parade on the day of the stroll.
Sell t-shirts.
Yeah.
To sell t-shirts and.
Judge the parade.
I'm also gonna chime in and say we need social media help.
Well, I'm working on that as well. Yes.
So.
Yes.
Very much
Yeah.
need social media help.
Yes. Yeah, I am as well, you know, interviewing people and having people fill out the survey, but going to put together a presentation and a short video, 3-minute, like kind of Instagram/Facebook reel, that employs like emotions out of residents and just videos of like short clips of me asking different people videos of interview questions. Yeah.
Are there other open agenda comments?
There's a question about the stroll.
Go ahead.
How is the live music for the stroll? Is that something that's provided by the businesses along the route? Is that something that the
auditions?
No, we have a stroll committee that recruits bands. We have you know, several bands that normally play across the San Pablo Dam. Do you have a band?
Multiple.
Is this something you'd be interested in doing?
Possibly.
Okay, so what I could do is, if we could meet after the meeting, I could get your contact info and provide it to some of my colleagues who are more involved in organizing the bands. And you know, I don't know what slots are still available for this year, but there might be something. But at least I could get you in touch. So if not this year, next year. Chris?
Yeah, another traffic issue, which is that if you're coming from Castro Ranch towards downtown, you go past Valley View. The way that, first off, there's that drop off that's after Valley View that they turn it to a 1 lane. But for some reason, before they get to the right hand turn onto Valley View, they also make it to a 1 lane, which means that anybody who wants to turn right has to get in the left lane, go around and go through that. And I would say, the only reason I can think of is because they're trying to like get ready for that drop off area there. But it seems to me like what would make more sense would be to make that into just a right turn only lane for the time being. And then later on, this is a paint situation, but they can make it to a right turn, but then they can later on make it straight or right just by adjusting the arrow, you know, whenever it happens to open up. But right now, I think all the different, we need to clean up the green team. I'm off there trying to put those orange posts back into the thing on the road. And I think they're almost all gone now. Like, they're almost not left. So it's gotten, the situation is just kind of deteriorating there. But making it to a right turn only lane for advanced, would, I think, solve a lot of that problem rather than having to double merge, is really bad.
I hate to exceed my bounds, but as a civilian, I don't think you should be out on the roads fixing stuff.
Wasn't that supposed to be anybody driving? It's supposed to be orange codes up.
Further questions?
Yeah, I just want to know the email blast that Ronnie sends out is just for the council members or it's for the public?
No, for the public.
I'll go sign up for them because I don't receive that yet, but that'll be interesting.
You need to get on the email list.
Yeah. Oh, it's like.
When you-
Your email. Oh, congratulations. I'll go through it. Thank you. Alright, that's it.
We got.
Harvard?
Yeah, no, we already talked about it, other than the stroll, I think we'll also bring together cruise night.
Oh, we're hoping to.
Hoping to.
Yeah, we're trying to get traffic to slow down.
Oh,
And so we're hoping to combine classic cars on a rush hour evening. And they'll go 25 miles an hour downtown and we'll do the speed limit? Yeah, do the speed limit. And we'll call it El Sobrante.
Put it on a t-shirt. That reinforces the idea that 25 is slow, right?
Yeah.
It is
slow. You don't slow, you're speeding.
Not the slow.
But, if the average speed is 35, so it is slower. And the idea of cruising, you're supposed to go slow. And so we thought 25 miles an hour, we'd keep the people who will use the middle lane to pass everybody that's going 25 miles an hour. To a minimum, it's 25. If it was slower than that, we'd probably have head-on collisions.
are there further open comments?
Do we have a national night out coming? Anybody have?
It's usually August, I guess, usually August 3rd or the closest Tuesday to the first.
Yeah. Is it the same place like Cheese Park?
Probably.
Anybody know?
Probably.
Anybody have any information? on that?
No.
Maybe neighborhood council is planning national night.
Who is?
Valley Neighborhood Council. Yeah, after last meeting,
Yeah.
that was one of the major things they covered. So yeah, they are planning national night out. I think they're gonna put it out on next door and put it, but yeah, we're kind of hoping that we'll get to redo that empty spot at the bottom of the Lemoyne Park. And we're actually hoping maybe we can put a bulletin board or something in there, little neighborhood notices and stuff.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
I think it's probably gonna be on the 4th of August, because it's the first Tuesday of the. In August.
Any other open comments before we move to the next agenda item? I don't see any, so information items. I think we have some good information in the last few minutes. So I'm thinking we could just move to subcommittee reports.
Hey.
We have one subcommittee. You're on the head.
Okay, next cleanup is July 18th. Our third Saturday cleanup, where we invite the whole community to come out and volunteer to clean up the litter around the area. We meet here at the library at 10 o'clock in the morning and clean up for 2 hours, and we provide the equipment that you need. And we're just trying to keep a handle on the litter problem in this area. I think we're doing a pretty good job of that. So I'm proud of our team and all of our volunteers who come. I need to communicate with the green team to see their feelings about participating in the stroll. I think we probably will, because we got a lot of spirit. We usually get recognized for that spirit, but now that I think about it, the theme is UFOs or extraterrestrial. We might have to do something about that. I don't know, that litter comes from the ETs, or they come from the Human waste.
Yeah, there are a lot of human waste that is orbiting our planet. And it probably could create a hazard for exercise.
We have the control of it.
Are you saying that they would come if it was cleaner? Maybe.
It's a hazard because it's, they reach stuff up there, orbiting the earth and just waiting for the water down down and then it falls to earth. Usually burns up, but yes, while it's orbiting, it can be a hazard if somebody's turned it or,
We're expanding your responsibility, man.
Great. Watch for what's coming out of the sky. All right, so there's that. I think the day before the stroll is coastal cleanup day. It's usually the third Saturday in September. Our team has to get together and talk about if we want to have a coastal cleanup day this year, if we want to join maybe some of the others that are going on and clean up the day.
I thought we already decided that.
Did we?
That's my understanding, that we decided that because of everything happening in September, that we were gonna give ourselves over to other teams this time instead of making something.
Okay. That sounds good.
In fact, that's already been decided, and Judy Ward and I've had that conversation.
Oh, okay, yeah. So if people want to join the other things and not have a third Saturday cleanup in September then?
Well, or we could, if we need to do something local, of course, for the school, but we're not doing what we usually do in the.
And have an event.
Exactly.
Around it. All right, so probably not that one this year. And let's see what else. Oh, one other thing, we're gonna need to set up a meeting of our subcommittee because we are discussing and we're getting very close to a design for our lawn signs to put up around town. Ali Estrada has designed something that we seem to like. We'll see, but we need to set up a meeting and we'll get with the people about that, and it's a good time to do that. Cause it'd be nice if we can do that have it before the stroll, have it out, so, and then have signs at our booth. That I'm sure we'll probably wanna have. That's
So
what.
here's the man who can help you set up.
Yeah, well, I needed to talk to the team and see when they wanna have this meeting.
Okay. So,
That should be the focus of it, I think, this time. Okay,
all right.
any questions? I have cards if anybody needs any third Saturday cleanup cards that wanna participate, and maybe we should get your card in case we do have an event and need a band or something. That's what.
So our last item is agenda items, speaker for upcoming SMAC meetings.
We're doing an open air market on Sunday, so if anybody wants to join us, open air, AKA flea market. It's at the old Christian school parking lot at 18 and Grand. And the nonprofit is for Triangle Works, and vendor fees are $30 and you get to keep whatever you sell. And if you are interested in being a vendor and we're just coming to explore the day, see me. Or take this and information's here.
Did you say it's this Sunday?
This Sunday.
Is there the Saturday, is there the night market?
The night market is the night before, it's on Saturday.
So this Saturday.
The PJ's Plan of Justice is having their night market this Saturday from 6 to 9.
Thank you, Terry. So agenda items, speakers for.
We've got it for September, I think, in correspondence that the Yukon Fire Chief said he joined us in September, that seems. And also, I think there might be an update from, since we very mentioned the school, that the entity that's preparing to redevelop property, and then we'll also have an update for September as to processes going for cleaning up the property.
Yeah.
So those are September. Next month, I don't know.
We did have a request from the Office of Emergency Services. So we're looking to add this to the agenda for next month.
That would be great.
Okay, oh, yes, we,
So in that case, I think we can probably adjourn the meeting. Right, probably a record,
Not quite a record.